The OHare Airport UFO, witnessed by pilots over Chicago, a metallic disc hovered over Gate C-17 in broad daylight, then punched a hole through the clouds as airport officials looked away. Late afternoon light filters through the overcast sky above OHare International Airport on November 7, 2006. Gate C-17 sits beneath a blanket of gray clouds, aircraft taxiing in their endless rotation through one of the busiest aviation hubs on Earth. Pilots prepare for departures. Mechanics conduct their inspections. Gate personnel process passengers through the familiar rhythm of commercial aviation. Everything proceeds according to the precise choreography that moves millions of travelers through this sprawling complex each year. Then someone looks up. Hovering approximately 700 feet above the tarmac, suspended roughly 1,500 feet below the overcast cloud ceiling, a metallic disc-shaped object hangs motionless in the restricted airspace directly above Gate C-17. The object reflects the diffuse afternoon light. Its surface appears metallic. Its shape is clearly disc-like, and it makes absolutely no sound. One witness becomes two becomes a dozen. United Airlines employees from multiple positions around the gate area observe the same phenomenon. Pilots see it. Mechanics see it. Gate personnel see it. A pilot seated in a United aircraft parked at the gate observes the object through his cockpit window, his professional training allowing him to assess altitude, position, and the critical fact that this craft matches nothing in his extensive aviation experience. The object does not move. It does not drift with wind currents. It does not rotate or display navigation lights or emit engine noise. It simply exists in space that should be empty, hovering with a stability that suggests active positioning rather than passive suspension. The witnesses watch from different angles, from different positions around the gate, and all confirm the same details: metallic surface, disc shape, stationary position, complete silence. Minutes pass. Professional aviation personnel, accustomed to identifying aircraft at a glance, continue observing an object that defies their training and experience. The disc hovers in airspace monitored by multiple overlapping radar systems, in a security environment where unauthorized intrusion triggers immediate response, in a location where even minor anomalies demand investigation and documentation. 5 minutes after the first sighting, the object moves. The departure is not gradual. Witnesses describe the acceleration as nearly instantaneous. The disc shoots straight upward through the cloud layer with a velocity that transforms it from stationary object to vanishing point in seconds. The speed eliminates any comparison to conventional aircraft. Helicopters do not accelerate like this. Jets do not move vertically like this. Nothing in the professional experience of the witnesses moves like this. Then the clouds themselves react. Where the object penetrated the overcast, a perfectly circular hole appears in the cloud layer. Through this opening, witnesses observe blue sky beyond the gray ceiling that covers OHare. The hole is not ragged or dispersing. Its edges are defined, circular, as though something solid punched through fabric and left an opening behind. Multiple witnesses observe this circular window in the clouds. They watch as it persists, maintaining its shape for approximately 15 minutes before the clouds gradually close back over the opening. The hole in the sky becomes the only physical evidence that something extraordinary has occurred in the heart of American commercial aviation. No debris falls, no contrail marks the departure path, no radar contact appears on any of the multiple systems monitoring OHare's airspace. The object arrives undetected, hovers untracked, and departs unrecorded by the technological infrastructure designed to monitor every cubic foot of space around the airport. In the immediate aftermath, United Airlines personnel file internal reports documenting the incident. The sighting occurred during daylight hours at a major airport with multiple professional witnesses. The documentation follows established protocols for reporting unusual events. The internal communications move through United Airlines reporting systems, creating a paper trail that confirms the incident was observed, reported, and acknowledged within the corporate structure. When inquiries begin, United Airlines publicly denies that any of its employees reported a UFO sighting at OHare. The official position is clear and unambiguous. No such report exists. The witnesses, many of whom spoke among themselves immediately after the sighting, find their observations officially erased from the corporate record. John Hilkovich, a reporter for the Chicago Tribune, begins investigating. He speaks with United Airlines employees willing to discuss what they observed. Their accounts remain consistent across multiple interviews. The details align: metallic disc, hovering position above gate C-17, silent operation, vertical departure, circular hole in the clouds. These are not casual observers reporting vague lights in the night sky. These are pilots, mechanics, and aviation professionals describing an object they observed in detail during daylight hours from their workplace. Hilkovich files Freedom of Information Act requests seeking any official documentation of the incident. The requests target United Airlines internal communications and any FAA records related to November 7, 2006. The FOIA process moves forward with its characteristic deliberation, peeling back layers of institutional documentation. The retrieved communications contradict United Airlines' public denial completely. Internal United documents confirm that a UFO report was indeed filed by employees on November 7, 2006. The documentation exists precisely where the company claimed it did not. The corporate denial is revealed as actively false rather than passively mistaken. The Federal Aviation Administration acknowledges receiving a call about the incident from a United Airlines supervisor at the time of the sighting. However, the FAA states it opened no investigation because the event did not constitute a safety issue. This position draws immediate criticism from researchers and aviation safety experts. An unidentified object hovering in restricted airport airspace at one of the world's busiest commercial hubs represents exactly the type of security and safety concern that demands investigation. The FAA confirms that no unusual radar contacts appeared on any system monitoring OHare during the relevant timeframe. The object that hovered for 5 minutes in airspace blanketed by multiple overlapping radar systems generated no returns, no tracks, no electronic signature of any kind. It existed in a blind spot not of technology but of physics, present to human observation but absent from electromagnetic detection. NARCAP, the National Aviation Reporting Center on Anomalous Phenomena, documents the case extensively. The research organization specializing in aviation-related UAP incidents recognizes the OHare sighting as exceptional for multiple reasons. The location places the incident in one of the most monitored airspaces in civilian aviation. The witnesses possess professional training specifically relevant to aircraft identification. The duration of the sighting allows for detailed observation rather than brief glimpses. The institutional documentation confirms the event occurred and was reported through official channels. Multiple United employees speak on record, maintaining consistent accounts despite the professional risks of publicly discussing UFO sightings. Their descriptions align across interviews conducted separately. The object's appearance, behavior, and departure method match in every significant detail. These witnesses have nothing to gain and potentially much to lose by maintaining their accounts in the face of corporate denial. The circular hole in the clouds becomes a crucial element of the case. This physical effect, observed by multiple witnesses and persisting for 15 minutes, suggests the object's departure involved forces or mechanisms capable of affecting atmospheric conditions. Conventional aircraft do not punch holes through cloud layers. The effect implies energy or propulsion systems operating on principles outside standard aviation technology. The case establishes a template for institutional response to UAP incidents in commercial aviation. Initial denial gives way to confirmed documentation only when FOIA requests compel disclosure. The FAA's position that an unidentified object in restricted airspace poses no safety concern reveals the paradox at the heart of official UAP response. Acknowledging the incident as significant would require investigation, but investigation would require acknowledging the incident as significant. The OHare UFO becomes the reference case for workplace-documented UAP encounters. The combination of professional witnesses, daylight observation, extended duration, institutional documentation, and the corporate denial confirmation sequence creates a documented incident that resists conventional dismissal. The witnesses cannot be characterized as untrained or unreliable. The location eliminates arguments about visibility or environmental conditions. The documentation proves the incident was reported and acknowledged internally before being publicly denied. The case remains unresolved. No conventional explanation accounts for a metallic disc hovering silently in restricted airspace for 5 minutes before accelerating vertically through cloud cover at impossible speed. No technology assessment explains how such an object could evade multiple radar systems while remaining visible to ground observers. No investigation determined what the witnesses observed or why it appeared above gate C-17 on that November afternoon. The perfectly circular hole in the clouds closed after 15 minutes, the sky returning to its uniform overcast as though nothing had disturbed it. The only permanent record exists in retrieved internal documents, consistent witness testimony, and the documented sequence of denial and confirmation that reveals how institutions manage information they cannot explain. If you found this case compelling, subscribe to Vanishing Roads for more documented paranormal investigations from around the world. This story was created with AI assistance based on documented case files. All events reference real investigations and reported incidents.